the memory that's contained within our soul stream echoes out into different incarnations. And when it's echoing into these different incarnations, or it's rippling out into these different incarnations, then that's experienced as past lives. Past lives are a fascinating but complex topic. So today, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what past lives are. Past lives and reincarnation are so natural to the human experience that even some religions are changing their stance on this topic. So, what exactly are past lives and are they real? Well, it depends on what dimension or what density we are viewing our incarnation from. So, whenever we're deep inside the third density, this experience, we're going to experience time to be not only linear, but we're going to experience time to be operating in a way to where when we incarnate into an experience or into a lifetime, now not only do we have a linear experience of a past, present, and future, but also we have a past life, future life, and the present incarnation that we are currently in. So the more that we go into the third density, the more we're not just going to only go into linear time, we're going to go into linear space-time. So even though many of us already know that time is an illusion at the highest level of reality within this universe, when we go into the deeper layers of the dimensions here, what we're doing is going deeper into the construct of time. Past lives exist in the fourth dimension and the third dimension. We are not a singular being that travels lifetime to lifetime. Rather, we are a cosmic process. This cosmic process is best known as the higher self. The higher self is an extension of the oversoul. It is a vehicle that the oversoul uses to channel, guide, and direct its essence into individual experiences and into lifetimes. So at the fourth dimension and the third dimension, we have past lives, but they are actually our higher self's lives. We just begin to remember them the more we awaken, because the more we awaken, we start to become our higher self. If you'd like to know more about embodying and becoming our higher self, you can watch my video, The Endgame. Higher than the fourth dimension, the concept of past lives starts breaking down because we are at a higher level of the universe. In the fourth dimension and the third dimension, our past lives contain our soul's energetic signature. Each lifetime is either the continuation of a past life that builds off of the other, or it is a magnetic pull to aid us in balancing and therefore healing themes in our energetic signature that are magnetic. Because karma is magnetic. That's why when we hear the term, this is a karmic situation, it is not necessarily a bad thing. It could also be helping us balance the lessons or balance the work in a previous life. In this way, reincarnation and past lives can help us learn and grow. Or they can be stuck in an unconscious feedback loop that recycles the soul and its experiences through samsara. But once our consciousness is located in the fifth dimension, our sense of self is completely different than our sense of self in the fourth dimension. In the fifth dimension, not only are our past lives happening all at once, but they are no longer an energetic signature. They are more like a fractal or pattern. So from the fifth dimension, past lives are energetic patterns that exist in a sea of consciousness. The force that gives these energetic patterns continuity and a sense of the individual self is what we are attracted to and what repels us. I know it may sound trite, but it all comes down to resonance. So the memory that's contained within our soul stream echoes out into different incarnations. And when it's echoing into these different incarnations, or it's rippling out into these different incarnations, then that's experienced as past lives, just like how we would also be experiencing something known as a future life. So even if we perceive it as being future lives of ours and past lives of ours, they would actually, from a higher density, be perceived as simultaneous lives. We would be experiencing them all at once. And even more closely related, it would look like parallel lives, just in different ages or in different sections of time. So that's why we heavily focus on us having past lives. It's because we are still coming from the perception of us having a linear stream of progression. So because we view things in a linear construct of time, past, present, future, we never say, oh, what about our future lives? We just go, oh, what about our past lives? But our past lives and our future lives are happening simultaneously. It's just that we focus on our past lives because we view ourselves so deeply in time that we view ourselves as having a past, and then we're in a present, and then a future life would be a different incarnation that obviously is after this incarnation, this life. So when it comes to the past lives, present life, and future life, all of that is actually tapping into a soul stream. If you'd like to know what I mean by a soul stream, you can watch my video, The Oversoul Explained. In The Oversoul Explained, I talk about how at a larger level of reality, we're actually an oversoul that goes into multiple incarnations or multiple soul streams, and that we are an individual soul that is a stream of consciousness from that oversoul. So that would be very important to know so that when we're talking about past lives, we understand the larger concept to fit this into. Now things get a little bit more complicated, and the reason why is because resonance. Resonance is so strong that you can look at resonance kind of like the energetic patterns or the energetic echoes that form karma. So resonance can create a future timeline for us or a future incarnation for us because we're resonating so strongly with the next incarnation through our own morphogenic field, but if we don't understand what that means, through the patterning, through the template that we created that can be looked at as memory. So we create with our thoughts, we create with what we resonate with, we create with our perceptions, our emotions, the way that they interact, our emotions and thoughts and perceptions. We create a template or a blueprint. And within that, we could look at that blueprint or this pattern as memory. And so this memory is what creates the resonance. It's what makes us resonate with having a future life or having a past life that may not exactly be our soul's exact past life. And once again, the reason why we might think that one of our past lives was our past life is because it depends on what our resonance is. If we strongly have a theme, an overarching theme even, if we strongly have an emotional charge mixed with a specific type of dynamic or mixed with specific types of situations that we see occurring inside our life, we could so strongly identify and so strongly resonate with that can create an energetic link or an energetic connection with resonance to a different time period, a different incarnation, a parallel time where we feel like that is our past life. Now, here's how you'll be able to know if you're genuinely experiencing a memory from a past life or if you're resonating strongly with some sort of dynamic or with some sort of situation because you're experiencing it in this life. And that is when you're dealing with a genuine past life, you will have unexplainable emotional charges and emotional reactions. So you will not be able to put some sort of logic or some sort of actual reasoning behind you're having such an emotional, either purging or some sort of emotional response that seems to our perception as though it is unwarranted or it is out of context. So even though we might not understand logically within this lifetime why we're responding or reacting that way to whatever the event or situation or dynamic might be that we're thinking, is this past life related or is this not past life related? How you'll know is a lot of the times when we think that something is very strongly past life related and it's coming from fantasy, it's coming from the mind, it's coming more from the thinking body of our energy field. That's when things are strongly resonating and it can go anywhere. It could really just be resonating with whatever it is in that even moment, whatever it is inside that chapter of our life, whatever it is within the overarching theme. We could be identifying strongly with it at a mental level, and that's not really indicating that it's genuinely a past life of ours. So the reason why a genuine past life of ours would come with emotional memory is because what would a past life be? It would be memory. What are we? What is a soul? It would be an individualized memory. That's why you hear in this age things about group consciousnesses at a higher level being a group memory or a group social memory complex. It's because everything would be memory. How you know it's your actual past life is if you have a strong and unexplainable emotional reaction, such as a phobia or an unexplainable fear. Another way is through dream time. Our past lives come through the most during dream activity because we are in delta brainwave state, and the delta frequency is how past lives and our current life share information and process. Another way is if you are called to visit specific regions of the world. And anything that comes innate to us. Imagine everything that is innate to you, not your ego, but innate to your very spirit. If you have a skill, an ability, or even a quirk that is innate to you, this is a clear indicator of having the spiritual muscle memory for that quality from past lives. This memory can also just be looked at as information. Information containing form, feeling, perception. All of these that create the individualized experience of a soul. So at that point, this soul, which is memory that continues on its journey, would be one that continues in what would look like a linear progression because we're deep into time. So within time itself, now what makes it act so linear? That would be the laws of the third density. In my video, How Time Operates in Different Dimensions, I go into how time and laws are the same thing. They're interchangeable terms for organizing ether or organizing consciousness. The fabric of space and time will then start experiencing impressions, or what could be looked at if we know that everything in this universe is a hologram. It could be looked at as a part of the hologram that is being recorded. So it's a recording, or what I'm calling impressions. And those impressions, or that recording, is known as memory. It's that social memory. And so that social memory, or impressions, or recording, is kind of like if we put our thumb really deep into gorilla putty and then slowly moved it out and watched the fabric of space and time have the recording of our fingerprint in there, and then slowly release it or dilate the higher it goes. And that's definitely not my fault if none of that made sense, but why that's so important to knowing past lives is because our soul now has incarnations, both past and present, that are real because we're deep into this density. And so in this density, everything is operating in the hologram or the time space where everything is projected out to be linear. And because of that, we do experience past versions of our lives and future versions of our live streams within our soul memory complex. So just like how group consciousnesses have a social memory, we as an individual soul stream have an individual memory. And those memories echo. Better yet, they ripple from our current eternal now moment. And when our soul or our memory complex ripples out, that means that we can also be experiencing the same past life as another ripple if we both came from the same drop or oversoul. I hope this has helped you remember. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for higher dimensional guidance through spiritual awakening. See you next time.